every couple is so different and every family is so different. That challenge makes weddings so beautiful.
Once you bond with the bride, your 50% problem is solved.
No, 100% problem solved.
Who shot your wedding?
Shutterdown. The shot is not the pose. The shot is before and after the pose, or in between the pose.
How did you land up being a mentor of Sony?
When A7 III came, Sony reached out and they said, why don't you try Sony?
His wedding film has been featured on Netflix, The Big Day, right?
Yes.
Now I know the insights of wedding. Welcome back to another episode of TRG Podcast. So today we have the mastermind behind very big photography firm called Shutterdown Photography, Mr. Lakshya Chawla. Thank you for giving us time and agreeing on first go. It's
Thank
really
you.
kind of you and humble of you.
No, thanks, man. I'm equally excited to be here.
So now that I have met you, I have seen your office. So beautiful office.
Thank you.
A lot of talented people. And I saw birthday of Deepak ji also.
Yes.
And I know the gift also that you gave him. So Deepak ji had to get the plants here. It was his birthday gift. Yes. So starting with photography, how did you encounter photography? When was the first time, you thought that you are a good photographer or you wanted to do photography?
Basically, I was a musician before I became a photographer. So I used to perform at this restaurant. Okay, and I was earning about 3,000 rupees per gig. And
wow.
Yeah, so basically 3,000 multiplied by 4 gigs a month, 12,000 rupees, and multiplied by full year is 1,44,000. That was just perfect to buy a new 550D with a few lenses. My main go-to lens at that time was the 50mm 1.8. And, again, I wanted to get into photography just as a hobby. And once I started shooting, I really loved what I was shooting, and I loved it as a hobby, and I was shooting everything from patta to kida to people. Then I went to my MBA school, to my B school, and I was shooting everything from college fest to basketball matches to football matches to cricket matches to random classrooms, making stop motion videos.
Every photographer
everything you want to do when you buy a camera. Okay, and I really genuinely started loving photography, but as a hobby. There was no commercial aspect attached to it.
When was the first wedding that you covered?
First wedding that I shot was actually my sister's wedding, my real sister's
really?
wedding. Yeah.
Wow.
So that was about 2012, 2013, approximately. And again, the team that she got on board at that time, people like us, the community.
Flash photographer ऊपर वाला लगा के.
हाँ, तो पहले ऐसा नहीं था. So थोड़ा traditional type scene not traditional is a very abused word, but I would say very old school, way of shooting chalta tha. So I told her, I got my camera and I took some shots of hers and, so that I have some memories for myself. And again, as a kid of someone who has kid of photography, it was a go-to thing. Like, बहन की शादी है, थोड़ी photos तो लेंगे पक्का.
और देखो दूसरा क्या कर रहा है.
और देखो दूसरा भी क्या कर रहा है. Curiosity, right? So again, I shot those photos, and at that time, Facebook was a thing. So just because I wanted to show my work, so I just put it there and, started getting calls from my seniors. Like, oh, I saw your sister's wedding. You did a good job.
Correct.
Can you come over for my wedding? And so I'm like, perfect. शादी है, खाना मिलेगा free का, shoot करेंगे photos बढ़िया, and good to go.
Idea of Shutterdown. Whose idea was it, and how did it come to inception?
So honestly, Shutterdown, the name Shutterdown was just because, again, I was 22 back then, man. All of us make some weird decisions in life and with no logical reasoning. I just wanted a fun name, and domain was available. So shutterdown.in happened, and that's how it all started. And again, you wanted to make a Facebook page. You wanted to show your work as a hobby only, what you want to do. So at that time, मेरे को कोई weddings का नहीं था कि I'm going to become a wedding photographer. So I never had that in my mind that I will become a wedding photographer. It just happened accidentally. It was a very happy accident. So again, I made a Facebook page, called it Shutterdown, started uploading pictures of patte, kide, log, eagle, urti hui eagle. So yeah, but I used to just have my camera always with me.
Okay, so why weddings? I want to know that.
So basically, see, the thing is that, we've been shooting weddings since a long time. Everything in the wedding, if you come to think about it, is exactly the same. मेहंदी सेम होती है हर एक इवेंट में, कहीं पर परफॉर्मेंस होती है, कहीं पर कुछ
नहीं
होता
होती,
है,
हाँ.
आपकी परफॉर्मेंसेज वही रहती हैं, हर साल वही स्ट्रक्चर रहता है. तो ऑब्वियसली पीपल हैव वेरिएशन, पीपल पुट इन द माइंड टू मेक इट वेरी क्रिएटिव, बट द आइडिया ऑफ संगीत इज संगीत, द आइडिया ऑफ हल्दी इज हल्दी, द आइडिया ऑफ वेडिंग इज
सात फेरे.
सात फेरे या 4 फेरे, 7 वचन.
अच्छा, ये भी मिथ है, मेरे को यहाँ जाके पता चला कि 4 फेरे भी होते हैं.
4 फेरे पे होते हैं. तो 4 फेरे एक्चुअली 4 होते हैं, वो बॉलीवुड ने 7 बना दिए हैं. So the thing is that everything remains the same, but what changes every wedding are the people. People change, and being a people's man, I love talking to people, and I realize that it's so much fun to just being a part of their intimate ceremonies.
True.
To know them at that moment when they are so emotional. It is a great, I would say, when you're shooting from one wedding to the other wedding, you're meeting new people, and that excitement of meeting different people at different wedding it gave a lot of kick to me. That kick of just interacting with different people. Every couple is so different, and every family is so different. And that challenge of, unpredictability of people, as, for example, when a bride walks in, you don't know how the groom's going to react.
Correct.
Will he cry? Will he laugh? You don't know. So that unpredictability, because people are involved, and that unpredictability makes it so beautiful, makes weddings so beautiful.
I belong to Varanasi. It's a oldest city of the world.
Yes.
And I call it a B-town city.
Right.
So now what we people face there is like, we admire you, people like you, photographers like you, mentors of Sony like you. So I wanted to know that how do you manage such a big team, big office, big equipment, heavy equipment, expensive lenses? How do you manage everything now?
Okay, so in terms of managing team, first of all, your team is like family. You need to manage your team just like how you manage a family. Now, there should be a lot of love, a lot of affection, a lot of helping each other. So the idea, first thing is that to manage people, you need to get the right people. True. So for you, to getting the right people does not mean who's the best photographer in town. Is number one, is he or she a good human being? Is he or she hardworking or dedicated or passionate about it? I know so many photographers or videographers who came to us, applied to us, fantastic work, but missing that emotional quotient.
Correct.
So for me, that is so important. And being hardworking, being passionate about weddings. So, once you get the right people, they are going to stay with you forever. Because again, it's a give and take relationship.
True.
Right? So I give them a lot, they give me a lot. And, it's not only about me giving them money and they giving me work. It's about even traveling together. We go on holidays together whenever off-season happens. So that's about managing people. In terms of managing equipment, honestly, we like being optimized in terms of our equipment. ऐसा नहीं है कि चलो पैक करो सब 10 लेंस लेकर चल के शूट करते हैं. So we optimize what equipments we need. We actually, for example, if it's a wedding with large stage and everything, we ask for the stage dimensions beforehand to actually understand. Yeah. Actually, कि entries की dimensions हम पूछ लेते हैं, stage dimensions हम पूछ लेते हैं कि do we even need a 70-200?
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
So what if it's a very, for example, एक छोटे से हवेली में शादी हो रही है, आप 70-200 का क्या करोगे वहाँ पे? इतनी छोटी tight spaces हैं, आप क्या करोगे? So we actually know what lenses we are carrying, and we're optimizing lenses. So in terms of managing so much, guys, number one, optimize your lenses. Number two, when you're starting off, don't straight away invest in the high-end
equipment.
High-end equipment. Go slowly. You try renting out, see how it works. अगर सीधा 85G master मत जाओ, आप 1.8 ले लो. It's a good lens.
Correct.
I started my career 1.8, and honestly, okay, this is someone who said in one of the, I also learned by learning from the gurus of photography. If I give you the guitar of Jimi Hendrix, can you play like Jimi Hendrix?
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
So similarly, if whether you have 85 1.8 or 85 G master, or you have 51.2 G master, or you have 51.8, if you have a great composition, it does not
Composition
matter.
plays an important role.
You have great composition, you have great people skills to present what you want. If you're able to communicate your thoughts to the couple, that's what matters.
Okay, now I'm a big fan of your images of posing. Like, how do you manage that? Because generally the problem that I feel in my work of expertise is that every other groom and bride portraits almost look alike. That the point is. So how do you manage that? Like,
Right. So, see, the thing is that what mistake most of us do is that हम एक bucket में ही सबको डाल देते हैं कि यही सही तरीका है करने का. Right. The idea is that every couple is different, and every couple requires a different treatment. And for that, what we do personally is we share a questionnaire with them. And it's a detailed 18-pager questionnaire. उनको भरना होता है, मेहनत करनी पड़ती है थोड़ी सी, so that we know exactly what we have to do. Otherwise, just throwing arrows in the air कि चलो ये कर लेते हैं, फिर ये कर लेते हैं, फिर ये कर लेते हैं, ये पोस्ट कर लेते हैं, ये पोस्ट कर लेते हैं. But if we know very well what is the ideology of getting a good shot, what is the purpose for their pre-wedding shoot, you know, some things like that, कि आपको pre-wedding क्या करना क्या है उसका. So a lot of people say, I just want pictures to be framed. Now if you want pictures to be framed, how do you go about the pictures? You don't want gowns flying in the air for a framed photo.
So true.
Right, for a framed photo you want a very intimate shot. Some people want some people don't know how to pose, some people don't want to get posed. If you know it beforehand, you make plans accordingly. Sometimes, they say that we don't want to pose, but they actually love posing. So obviously you change gears also midway. But the basic idea remains that you work with the client, you work 80-85% for them, try to understand them as much as possible and change your gears. If you need poses, if you need more posing, then be prepared for it. ऐसा नहीं है कि मैं अब experience हो चुका हूँ तो मैं अब Pinterest नहीं खोलता. मैं भी खोलता हूँ poses check करने के लिए. But if the requirement is like that, if the requirement is something else, then I prepare myself in a different way.
Correct.
Right.
So does it matter, like if it's an arranged marriage or a love marriage, does it change the way of posing?
Not really.
No, not really.
Not really. We shot a couple which is getting arranged married. It turned out to be pretty good and pretty cute, and they were very intimate.
Wow.
So the thing is, now the concept of arranged marriage is also evolving. It's not how it used to be before. जैसे हमारे parents के टाइम पे होता था कि यही इसी से ही शादी होगी. पापा को पसंद आ गई इसी से शादी होगी. अब नहीं होता bro. अब now the thing is that every couple gets about a lot of time to be with each other, know each other well, and then they decide कि हाँ रोका करना है कि नहीं करना. It's as simple as कि यार instead of you making me meet your friend, that's how love marriages are, right?
Correct.
You know a friend of yours, कि bro, she's single, you're single, why don't you catch up once? Similarly, parents are saying the same thing now कि शर्मा जी की लड़की single है तो एक बार मिल लो. So what I'm trying to say कि today's arranged marriage is exactly like love marriage, but just that instead of friends making them meet,
it's parents making them meet.
Yeah, exactly. That's about it. So chemistry remains the same, and everything remains the same.
Now moving on to the editing part, which is your favorite software for photo editing?
So we use Lightroom for 85% to 90% of our entire workflow.
Okay.
Obviously, culling ke liye we use Photo Mechanic. Algo Cull is good, but somehow we are still more comfortable with Photo Mechanic. We use Algomage for our editing purpose, for the AI editing.
Okay.
So we do and post that delivery ke liye again we use AlgoShare. So Algomage only. So and these are the 2-3 main softwares that we use, but AI I think is very important these days.
True. So, many people are scared that AI is going to remove jobs or take out people out of jobs. Is it actually true?
Okay, so this is how you take it, right? So obviously when we were introducing AI, my team will never say it, but they will always have in the back of their mind, right? कि यार ये machine में job ना ले जाए, right? So you have to give that comfort, that how our way ahead is going to be. Because if they are not comfortable, they will never adapt to AI, and they will always say कि ये AI अच्छा काम ही नहीं कर रहा, edit ढंग से मैं ना कर रहा है, इससे अच्छा मैं edit करके दिखाता हूँ.
Correct.
So you have to give them that confidence that boss, what is the roadmap with AI? Right now we are delivering photos in 60 days. With AI, let's cut it down to 30 days. Okay. If AI becomes robust, we do the same thing in 15 days, and 4 years down the line, we do it in 3 to 4 days. So now the thing is, your job is not getting affected. You still have to work, bro. But now the thing is, our delivery becomes faster. Our delivery becomes faster. We get more weddings. We can take more weddings then. And, the company grows and you grow with the company. So when you give that perspective, they start adapting to AI. And you have to give that promise to your team that nobody's getting fired. Unless the work is, एक होता है ना कि industry ही down जाए, और सब कुछ हो जाए, COVID आ जाए जैसे. Obviously, you can't foresee anything, but because of AI, all your jobs are secured. We just changed the way we work.
Correct.
Right?
So now moving on, what is your favorite video editing software? What would you recommend?
Okay, see, I don't recommend anything, bro. So I will never recommend anything. See, our main idea is that what we like, what suits our purpose. For us, if Final Cut Pro works really well, we couple it up with After Effects. But for our personal workflow, I'm not saying it's better than Premiere Pro. I'm not saying it's better than DaVinci.
Yes. There's a war going on.
There's a war going on. I don't want to be a part of it. I am just happy with Final Cut Pro. It fits in perfectly with my personal workflow, and that's it. It just fits in perfectly. और कोई लोग कहते हैं कि Premiere Pro में ये feature है, इसमें ये feature है. होंगे, I'm sure होंगे. Again, if it suits you, great. It's as simple as why I chose Sony over Canon, or why I chose Sony over Nikon. All three are great brands. So if you've ever seen me talking, I will never say that Sony is better than Canon or Sony is better than Nikon. I will always say, choose what suits you.
You, correct.
Right. For me, an autofocusing was a very important thing. So that's why I chose. Well, one of the major reasons.
Big challenge in the wedding for autofocus. True.
Right. Big challenge. Lighting is bad. Lighting
worse.
Focusing nahi ho pati hai, and you want quick emotions to be captured. So for me, that was, when someone asked me why you shifted, this was the main reason. And they kuch bhi kaho, they had the first mover advantage of going for the mirrorless.
100%,
and when I used
100%.
When I used
the A7 III, so पहले मैं सिर्फ cinema करता था, A7S2.
अच्छा.
हाँ, so पहले only cinema. I used to use Canon for my photography. But when Sony guys told me that पहले A7R2 था, which was not a very good camera in terms of focusing. Okay. Then when A7 III came, I bought an A7 III. They also said, why don't you use it once? Then I realized that first of all, the EV is so amazing.
Good.
Like
that is actually true.
That was my first change. My first reason why it changed things for me, I could see the exposure levels, because कितनी बार हुआ है कि बारात अंदर शुरू हुई और बाहर जाके आपके सारी पिक्चर्स ओवर एक्सपोज हो गई जो आपने देखी, यहाँ बर्न हो गई सारी के सारी. So with EV that impacted, and I love the autofocusing, and that's why I shifted. There's a few reasons why I shifted to Sony. Obviously, first movers advantage they had the first movers advantage of being mirrorless.
Correct. Now, moving on to the music of the films that you make. How important is the music actually?
Yeah, so music is the soul of each film. You can, when I told you, वो 18 पेज का हम questionnaire भरवाते हैं हर couple से. So जो music होता है, your music is actually, once we know what the couple wants, we can actually change their entire edit with the music. So music is like the soul of each and every film, and our entire off season actually goes in researching good songs. Yeah, so we actually research all the beautiful songs that we can, go ahead and make and or create or use. So we are creating a lot of music. There are two ways you can create music. One is called a cover, where we use an original already made, and then we revamp the song, like how we did with Jasleen Royal.
Correct. I was going to ask the same question. It was very, I think I've used it in 4 weddings, that Nachdi Fira song.
Right.
It's beautiful.
Thanks. So Jasleen is a very good friend, so it was very seamless to work with her. So in a cover, you take a song like we took Najdi Farah in that particular for that particular film, and then we asked Jasleen to sing it in her way. So now it's the same original song which was made by either T-Series or whichever, and we create a cover for that. Okay, now that's one way of doing things. Another way of doing things is you create an original from scratch. Now that is much more a lot of effort because आप पूरा thought process सोच रहे हो, आप lyrics भी सोच रहे हो पूरे के पूरे, and there's a hybrid also between original and cover. Is that you change the lyrics of a cover so that it becomes So this is, for example, very interesting. I love Channa Meria. Okay, I think there was a phase when पूरे इंडिया को चन्ना मेरिया बहुत पसंद था, but उसके lyrics ना बिल्कुल शादी वाले नहीं. It's a breakup song, man. You can't use it in a wedding, right? So Channa Meria को we revamped it. And we changed the lyrics to make it a bridal entry Channa Meria.
Wow.
So again, if you don't want a cover, if you don't want a proper original, you can change the lyrics of
hybrid
a song.
version of it. Yeah.
There's a hybrid version where you have a completely revamped cover of a particular song.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now moving on, I wanted to know that when you do photography of the weddings, what problems do you actually face in the weddings? Maybe not problems, I cannot say problems, challenges that you face in the weddings, and the most happiest part of any one of the experiences that you have done.
Okay, so in terms of happy experiences, again, when You show them same day edits. When you show the
same
client,
day edit is a big,
oh man,
big,
it
big,
is
big success.
amazing when the client sees it. They're crying, they're laughing, they hug you. Oh my god, it's that feeling
True.
of a client. Artist को क्या चाहिए यार? Appreciation.
और वो
So,
instant मिलता है feedback
Instant.
को.
Like, you know, as an artist, you get that appreciation instantly that Lakshya team, like Shutterdown, what great job you've done. And
correct.
that just melts our heart. But, you know, like, वो एक
वो
बचपन
आपका
में
PR ही हो गया. 300 लोग जो बैठे हैं, they
yeah,
have
more
been
than
fan
PR
of you.
na, I'll tell you, more than PR na. I don't know if there's something called a Maslow's hierarchy
theory.
बचपन में पढ़ा था
Correct,
ना हमने
हाँ.
कि you have basic needs and you have you know
Self actualization और ये सब होता
the
था
top
उसमें.
self actualization कहीं पर वहाँ पे लगता है कि this is what I wanted. This is the career I wanted to take. Like wedding photography is what I am supposed to do in my life, and I'm very
100%.
happy doing it. That's the moment. That's the good feeling about doing weddings.
Same day
and
edits.
Same day edits is I love doing same day edits, and this is one of the reasons why we love doing same day edits. And in terms of challenges, challenges are when you know suddenly there's a mishap in the wedding.
Oh, okay, correct.
Like someone losing their ring, you know, on the engagement night. That creates a very stressful environment. And, you know, you don't want to cross the line of a professional being personal with them.
Absolutely true.
Yeah, maybe someone's father is not well, someone's grandfather is not well. There's a scenario of tension. So in that case, it becomes very challenging. How do you get real, true emotions when the mahal thoda jab tense hota hai? So that is one really challenging part.
Do you see a change in pre-wedding styles and the number of pre-weddings that were used to happen before as compared to now?
Yes. Okay, so pre-wedding as a trend, it blew up the market about 5-6 years back.
Correct.
Now I see pre-weddings reducing a lot. Rather since past 4-5 years, post-COVID, they have reduced substantially. And also because, you know, it's like, या इंडिया में आप मोमो इंट्रोड्यूस करते हो ना तो मोमो को वो भजिया मोमो बना देते हैं.
पनीर
मोमो, भजिया मोमो, सब मोमो, मतलब कि रेट पीट देते हैं. Similarly, the same thing has happened with pre-wedding. It was such a beautiful concept. You shoot them, you shoot beautifully. वो आप you know उसमें कुछ भी स्क्रिप्ट करके.
किशनगढ़ का हाल आपने देखा है क्या है इस समय? मतलब किशनगढ़ इज अ प्लेस इन जयपुर.
Okay.
All complete of white marble, dust and water, blue water.
Yeah.
Now I just went to shoot a pre-wedding there. I thought I will be the only one who explored the place. There were 20 pre-weddings going on
so
that moment.
Exactly. You know, so this is what the thing. So that's why a lot of people are not doing pre-weddings because, you know, it's kind of a run of the mill.
now.
Yeah, people are not people. Like that's the wrong way to say. Basically, all of us or everybody has made it so, you know.
In a specific format हो गया उसका एक.
Yeah, and क्या होता है बहुत ज़्यादा posy हो जाता है. Some people don't want to go so over the top.
Problem,
Some people don't want to go so over the top, and a lot of at least a lot of clients that we are shooting, because we are also projecting ourselves as someone who keeps it very real, very realistic, and you know our main reason why people get us on board is we keep very real. Even the poses we keep very real and very authentic. So our clientele does not really go for pre-weddings that much because they don't connect with that idea of you know कि मैं पैलेस में रहती हूँ और मैं गाउन उड़ा के रानी बन जाऊंगी.
लड़का गिटार ने जिंदगी में कभी गिटार नहीं बजाया, उसको गिटार पकड़ा दिया.
So you know my couples don't relate. I don't resonate with that. So obviously if I don't resonate, we don't post such stuff. Neither do we shoot such stuff. So
Understood.
obviously the clients who get us on board don't expect us to do it or don't even want it. And I'm happy about it.
Okay. Now moving on, when you were clicking up wedding portrait, which person are you? Are you a flash photography person? Are you a constant light person?
I am a full-on video light, constant light person. I don't use flash at all. I just use constant light. Very little flash, only when required. For example, आपको open flash चाहिए, front flash चाहिए. You want that harsh light, then maybe you use it. But otherwise, for all our work, for all the portraits that you see, it's 90% constant light.
So stick light or the normal COB lights?
No, so we just use softbox, Octa, whatever you want to call it, the 55 centimeter.
Understood.
We have a small nan light, a very small light which has battery, which has a small stick. So with small monopod, it's a very light setup so that we can roam around with it even while we are doing portraits. So it's a very light setup and it gives the light is exactly like how you would get in a softbox with using flash.
Correct.
Because the diffusers are same, right? The diffusion process is the same. right? We can match the intensity of what the flash is. The idea of using a video light is because, the shot is not the pose, is the shot. The shot is when the pose breaks, or, like, for example, a groom is hugging the bride and he's like, kya kar raha hai mujhse? And they start laughing. Nah, that laugh is a pose.
Very good idea.
Right.
True.
So pose is, the shot is not the pose. The shot is after and before and after the pose, or in between the pose. The shot is somewhere hidden behind that. So you want to find that shot.
Correct.
Now that shot is equally important for the video. Right. So when it's equally important for the video, if you're using flash, you're not getting light for the video. So now that for that in between that moment, in between that shot, you get that real, true, candid, one sliver of moment. That moment needs to be captured in video. Or some interaction. For example, we want to make a film where the couple is very goofy and stuff like that. But आप कहोगे ना goofy बन के दिखाओ, funny बन के दिखाओ, कैसे बनेंगे funny? You have to give them that space, and you give that, throw things so that they do something, like give them a cheesy pose and they're like, I can't do this, man. And you can use things in between those things, in between the poses, to get raw gold content for your video. The chemistry of the couple when you're posing them, that can come out in the video so beautifully when you're using a video light and you're just shooting the whole scene.
Correct. So now once that shooting part is done, how fast do you deliver the deliverables to the client?
So our basic idea of delivery is that we want the client to get things which they want to use very quickly, like announcement and stuff, very quickly. For example, within a week, we give announcement photos. So we call it announcement photos, which are given within a week to 10 days of the wedding, so that we want to post on the gram that we are married and stuff like that. The promo also, we try our best ki same day edit ho jaye. But if it's not a same day edit, we try to close all the deliverables that they want to share and everything within 45 days to 2 months, within 60 days.
That is quite fast.
Decent, I would say. I would still not say it's fast. It's fast for me, at least from the standard that I come from. I think it's just fine. So basically, your photos. I'm talking about peak time deliverables, not off season. Right? I'm talking peak February wala wedding ke jab backlog bhi hota hai aapke paas. So usme 60 days we take for your. So basically, we try ki photos, promo, the reels. If performances also, we can deliver within 2 months.
Oh, so you deliver performances separately?
Oh yeah. Oh, we deliver performances separately. All performances we are delivering separately.
With the audio, real, or like with the proper audio.
Yeah, we put a zoom and we get the actual sound, and we give the performance video separately.
Does it make a difference by when you record the real audio and versus the audio from the speakers, right?
100%. So idea is that you take a zoom, like how we're doing it for this podcast. You take the input from the system, and you always जब भी डीजे को बोलो जो सिस्टम पर है कि सबसे मैक्सिमम साउंड चला और उस पर -18 आना चाहिए.
ओके.
सो फटे ना वो.
हाँ, ये भी इशू है ना कि हाँ.
So basically you take the sound always from the zoom or the input, or if you want to make your life a little more easy, then what you can do, you can have your lapel, like the wireless, and put wireless in the input system.
That is true. Yeah. So yes, that is a very good idea that I'll be using in upcoming season. And secondly, now once you are done with, I didn't know that you deliver individual Sangeet also. It's a good lesson that I will also deliver.
All performances separately, and they're properly shot, like with 3 cameras, always rolling.
So Sangeet with 3 cameras mostly?
4. Yeah, on contract we say 3, but we use 4. Wow. So basically there's one master cam, which is right in front, which is shooting the full thing. So master cam zoom in, zoom out karta hai, theek hai. Second camera is like a gimbal. Third camera is like a close-up shot, which is taking like 70-185, taking close-ups of people, maybe side or maybe front, depending on situation. The fourth camera is just taking reactions.
Oh.
Yeah. So
now I know the insights of wet Shutterdown. Okay. Now moving on, when you deliver, like once the shoot is done, once the Sangeet shoot is done, the moment, I feel that basically the real photographer is when he doesn't miss any moment. Like missing a moment is really heavy, because a wedding is one thing which has no retakes. Right.
So I'm just continuing that thing of missing moments, where whenever my photographer says that, check out my data, you can check my work and, see the shots that I've shot. I've not missed. I've taken everything. So I always tell them, it's not about what you shoot, it's about what you miss.
Correct. So I'll use the line. I'll use this line later.
Yeah.
Also, I want to ask one more very important question. Like, is your complete team in-house, or you hire freelancers as well for the weddings?
So our team is in-house, but we do have a panel of freelancers.
Okay.
Now these panel is created. This is like the cream of the creme de la panel of whatever you want to call it. The panel that is created, and this is after a rigorous process that we have. So first we only get freelancers on board on our panel after certain references. So if we are trying someone, it'll be through a reference. And then after that, we make them come on a shoot, but we don't hire them so if the contract says 3 cinematographers, he won't be one of the 3 cinematographers. He'll be the 4th one.
Oh,
right. So उसमें क्या होता है कि we can't take a risk with the client. So that's the 4th cinematographer. We tell the client that there'll be an extra person coming for your shoot. You don't mind? Nobody says no.
Why will say no?
Nobody says no to an extra shooter unless it's an international destination wedding or a wedding where
extra expenditure would be
would be incurred. But if it's a local wedding, why not? Okay, so we get a 4th person. We test them out in 2 to 3 weddings and we see how their work is, and then finally we empanel them. And we have a very small panel of photographers and cinematographers, and we use only that panel that panel of freelancers to shoot for our wedding. Again, majority of the work, because we've made a commitment to the in-house team, it goes to them. But obviously, we keep using freelancers as well. Not from the perspective कि हमें दिन में 10 शादियां करने तब हम करें. The idea is crop rotation. Like how crop rotation is done कि आपकी soil है, वो अगर आप एक ही crop करते हो तो उसकी एक न्यूट्रिएंट कम हो जाता है. आप दूसरा क्रॉप करोगे उसका न्यूट्रिएंट्स बैलेंस हो जाएंगे. सो व्हेन यू गेट फ्रीलांसर ऑन बोर्ड, ही विल गेट समथिंग न्यू ऑन टेबल एज वेल. सो दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर यू टू you keep refreshing your whole scope of work.
Correct. You get to learn a lot of things from new people.
See, learning is a process which should not stop at any point of time. So if you're learning even after shooting like 300, 400 weddings, it's always good to know things. I always learn new things from every single wedding that I shoot.
Also, I wanted to know that why Sony cameras for weddings? And how did you land up being a mentor of Sony? Because trust me, it is a very big achievement from at least from my eyes. Because once you get the recognition from a company, it's a badge. I feel that, and it's super. Congratulations first of all. And how did you get to that point now?
Okay, so Sony happened in 2018. I was, again, as I mentioned, I started with Canon. I was very happy with Canon, but then somehow I wanted to try more cameras out, so I shifted to Nikon for 1 year. Somehow I didn't like the UI of how Nikon was working back then.
Very difficult. UI is very difficult of Nikon.
It was somehow not working out for me. It's as simple as that. And then I was looking for a change again. I was always using Sony cameras for video, and someone made me try an R2. Which was at that time I would not say a very great camera, especially for focusing. Then when A7 III came, Sony reached out and they said, why don't you try Sony? So I told them R2 wasn't that great. So, so like, no, try the A7 III. This is a very updated version, and try the A7 III. It was phenomenal. At that time, I think it was way ahead of its time. Even now, if you use A7 III, again, obviously with the R5s and all, A7 IV was a great upgrade. But A7 III as a camera was phenomenal. Yeah, it was phenomenal. And that time, I just felt that wow, that AV is so good. Because वो होता है ना कि आप बाहर जाते हो फिर सारी overexpose हो जाती है photos.
100% ये बहुत matter करता है.
So obviously when we started using the A7 III, and also having the same ecosystem makes a huge difference, because then you can actually change lenses within the team. तो हम ब्राइडल शूट करने होते हैं, अगर फॉर एग्जाम्पल गोइंग फॉर ब्राइडल शूट, so I'm having say 50mm, so we use only prime. Majorly 90% is only prime lenses. So when we're shooting, say if my cinematographer has 50 and I have 35, we can quickly change lenses and get a new perspective without even carrying anything or without having any assistance. So that ecosystem really works well, right? And that was one of the reasons why we shifted to Sony. The main factors were great focusing. It was the first camera that had a fantastic EV at that time, and now it's amazing. Every EV is amazing. So these were, and the low light performance. Again,
low light is also too good. Beautiful. So
for weddings, lighting is bad. So these two factors are like the go-to factors, right?
Correct,
for every.
Correct.
So again, there's no good camera, bad camera. It's about what suits you.
Correct. Now he's very humble, but he has his wedding film has been featured on Netflix. the big day, right?
Yes.
How did it happen? It is
Okay.
such a big achievement.
So basically, Netflix was approaching various photographers, and they approached us as well. It was actually Condé Nast. It was featured on Netflix, but it was actually Condé Nast that approached us, and they said, "Okay, we're looking for a certain bride for our new film. It's gonna be featured on Netflix, and would you like us to connect with some of the brides?" I said, "Okay, we are shooting a few brides, and all of and." Okay, and yeah, I can connect you with a few. So I wanted to know what kind of a bride are they looking for. And they said, we want someone who's like this, who's a bit more quirky. And, one bride just struck me and I'm like, okay, Pallavi, her name was Pallavi. Pallavi will just be the right person. They talked to Pallavi. They were blown away with Pallavi. They're like, I don't care about Shutterdown, hame Pallavi to chahiye. But then they had faith in us. They told us to shoot the entire thing.
So you shoot it entire or the Netflix crew is there with you?
So Netflix crew wasn't there at the wedding because we told, again, the idea, see, Pallavi and we were very clear that first is your wedding, then it's Netflix. We won't let...
Actually true.
Right? So, so she didn't care about Netflix. She was a bride who wanted her wedding to be shot perfectly. She's like, Laksh, if anything bothers you, we will not go ahead with this. So and I was also with her that, dude, anything bothers us, we won't go ahead with this because we don't want, because it's coming on Netflix and all, it spoils the wedding.
Correct.
So we had this serious conversation that इससे शादी पे फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. So हमने Netflix वालों, we talked to Condé Nast and they said, okay, you shoot the entire thing. You shoot the entire wedding. So we shot the entire wedding. Only places where they shot, where their team shot was things at their home. If they wanted to create some storylines and everything. So whatever they shot at home was shot by them. Rest at the wedding, it was only our cameras. Obviously, we added a few more cinematographers based on their requirements. Correct. But it was just an addition.
Now, the second, I think that we can compare both the achievement. The second achievement is Vikrant Masi's wedding. Wow, what pictures, what videos, what color grading. Because I'm a big fan of color grading and Sony has a S-Log feature and it all the cameras are beautifully balanced.
Yes, absolutely.
So how was your experience for that?
So fun fact, I didn't shoot that wedding. My team shot.
You were not there?
No, I was not there. So my team shot. So I was not there. My team shot it. It was a great experience. As a client, he was so humble, very sweet person. So people ask me, how did you get that wedding? It's a very common question that I get asked. So basically, we shot Vikrants' very good friend's wedding 2 years back. And also, we shot Sheetal's best friend wedding about 7, 8 years back.
Wow.
So it was actually a recommendation from both the bride
sides.
and groom side. So it happened. People think that it is because we have crazy planner connects and kisi planner ke saath. Nahin, yeah, planners hate me, dude. So it was because of that we got this wedding, and it was a fantastic experience. It was great, but it was shot literally how we shoot any other wedding. Yeah, there was no special thing that we did because we actually try to do a special for each and every wedding that we shoot, right?
Correct.
So there was no deviation in what we are shooting.
But Vikrant as a person also very humble, I feel.
Yeah, like
low-key, not very celebrity-like.
He's a very chill person. If you meet him, you'll be just like, he's a good friend of yours. Rather, he's a very true person, very true
relatable,
person.
I think.
Very relatable. Very relatable, and that's why he does films that are more relatable.
How do you manage the whole process? Like, how do clients approach you? Or do you have a salesperson, or do you have a sales team, or you have someone in a team who is managing everything and you are just taking care of the photography part? Because generally what people face is that suppose I'm a photographer, so I'm looking after everything. I'm also managing the clients. I'm going to meet them. I'm going to give the deliverables.
Right.
So how difficult is it, and how have you managed it now?
Okay, so see, when I started, I was doing everything. Okay, I was doing sales, I was doing marketing, sales and marketing are two different things. Yeah. So that's one. But I was doing sales, marketing, shooting, editing, delivering, albums, everything. And then I realized that I started this because I love photography. Right?
So true.
And I don't want that my management may first down. So, and then I started delegating things slowly. So I got one person. So basically the way to make life easier for you was that first I thought, okay, let me do one thing. Let me get an editor. So at least my editing workload sahi ho jayega. So I got an editor. She was a fresher, still works with us. The oldest employee, 2 people I got actually in a span of 2 months. So I got 2 editors, photo editors only. And then I taught them the style that we have of editing. And then workload thoda manage hua. But still workload was increasing. Then first person I got was, okay, let's have one person to have all the management things. So she used to make sales, and she used to take care of logistics and then the delivery. Okay. And then again, we also had like a lot of cross selling, cross connection, cross department connection happening.
Correct.
Then I realized her workload had to be managed as well. So हमने फिर उसको भी further split कर दिया between sales and post sales. कि एक बार sales complete हो जाए, when the client gets on board, then the client is taken over by someone else. Then her workload was managed further as the shoots increased. That now it became sales, then logistics, and then deliverables. So that became 3 different teams managing the whole scene. And the idea is that my team is, I'm a very chill person with my team. The idea is just to get the work done. So no targets at all. Because the idea is to get good weddings. The idea is not to oversell, under-deliver, always
Correct.
under-promise, over-deliver. So we have no sales targets.
I'll use line again.
So we have no sales targets. We have no, we have no rule of coming to office for the management team. They can work from home. They can, as long as the work is being done. True. So they come to office. Sometimes they come every day. Sometimes they come once a week, depending on the workload. And again, the idea is very simple, that just get the work done. So in a nutshell, I should not get any call from the client कि यार
ये नहीं हुआ.
So if I get a call from the client, that means you're not working well. You're not working properly. So तुम घर पे काम करो, तुम्हें हॉलिडे जाना हॉलिडे पे काम करो, तुम्हें गोवा जाके 1 महीने वहाँ से काम करने कोई टेंशन नहीं है. But I should not get a call from the client, that because I want to focus on more fun things like how to make a beautiful promo, make a song. I love training my team, okay, this is something which we're going to introduce now. We always have workshops, regular workshops.
Oh, wow.
Internal regular workshops ki, this is a new thing that we are starting. अगर हमें 4K shoot करना है तो हम कैसे उसको shoot करना शुरू करेंगे? So whatever experimentations we have to do, we do it in the off season, because in season we don't do any kind of things. Because यहाँ पे क्या delivery time हमारे पास time है करने के लिए. So if we are introducing 4K, कौन सा codec use करना है, क्या करना है? So we do everything in this time because we have time in hand.
Correct.
Once the season starts, we don't touch anything. The rules that are made in off season remain for the season.
This is a good technique. Once you you utilize your off season by maintaining all the SOPs, like what will happen later.
Exactly. So maintain, upgrade, change SOPs. जो भी करना है, training, internal training, new equipment training, all things have to happen before the season. Once the season starts, it's first of all it's very tough to get everyone together. कोई सो रहा है, कोई कह रहा है मैं रात को late shoot पे आया था. Everybody wants their time, and I agree, because
wedding is tough. Wedding is tough. There's no time limit.
16 hours shooting is tough, man. It's tough. पीठ टूट जाती है.
Now, जैसे आपने बोला, I wanted to know, do you shoot all the weddings in 4K or HD? Like, what is the rule?
So we'd shoot. पहले तो हम पूरा HD में करते थे. We started shifting to 4K now. Now, अभी हम पूरा 4K नहीं कर रहे. We're doing hybrid 4K and hybrid 1080 because we also want one camera only on 100 FPS.
Slow motion.
Only on 100 frames. So we're doing hybrid right now. But soon we are waiting for M4s to come, so that we can see for the next season if 4K 100 can work on M4s. So that we can shoot parts of 4K 100, and then because I don't want कि हम shoot कर लो और फिर edit ही ना हो पीछे.
Correct. So is it fair to charge, like I've seen some people charge extra from the client for 4K, and some people do it like they don't charge anything. So which side are you on?
That's a tough one. I think I feel that it is definitely more workload, to shoot 4K.
More memory cards.
More data, more memory card, more burden of carrying so many memory cards. So we don't format any card. We carry 100 cards in a wedding.
100 cards in a wedding?
Yes, we carry 100 cards in a wedding. We don't format any card. The idea is to have...
Very good technique.
Yeah. आप 100 कार्ड लो, आप उनको फॉर्मेट ही मत करो. So you have 100 cards with data. आपकी हार्ड ड्राइव सारी भी क्रैश हो जाएंगी, आपके कार्ड्स में डेटा मिल जाएगा.
ये बहुत अच्छी टेक्निक है. मैं इसको
because we've also burnt our hands. So कि सबके लाइफ में कुछ ना कुछ ऐसे chaos कुछ होता है. Right. So we've also learned from our mistakes. So best technique which we started from like 4 years back, cards should have data, one SSD and one backup of that SSD. So basically 3 backups at a wedding. So don't format cards को SSD में करो, overnight सोने से पहले normal HDD में करो. जो SSD है वो एक backup बन जाएगा उसका ऑफिस में पहुंच कर, और एक जो एक दूसरी ड्राइव वो सीधा एडिटर को मिल जाएगी एडिट करने के लिए. So
टाइम प्रोसेस भी जल्दी हो गया.
Yeah. The idea of everything in weddings is कि आप कैसे optimize करते हो टाइम अपना.
So once the wedding is done, you immediately give the data to the editor.
Within 2 days. Within 2 days. Unless no editor has time to start. That's a different thing. Your February wedding hai, all your November, December deliverables are going on. In that case, obviously, we can't give immediately, but the data is ready to be edited immediately.
Correct. Also, I wanted to ask, like, managing a team of such a talented people, how have you tried to keep everything at level? For example, I've seen in weddings, people give time of 9 o'clock to the team, they reach at 9:30, or maybe they reach at 9:10. So I realized जिस दिन सब कुछ टाइम पे हो रहा होगा उस दिन मेरी टीम लेट हो जाएगी और जिस दिन सब कुछ हम लोग पहले पहुंचेंगे उस दिन इवेंट ही लेट हो जाता है. So how do you give timings to your team beforehand, like this time we have to reach everyone and everyone is on time?
Yeah. But it's also a lot about time management. Okay, so we give time जो जिसपे पहुंचना है, चाहे वो 2 घंटे पहले भी हो, मतलब चाहे क्लाइंट 2 घंटे लेट भी हो. The team, for example, the call time is 7. That means 7. Okay, so हम बफर लेकर चलते हैं. We always take a buffer because Delhi है, traffic होगा, so we always take that buffer कि 7 to 7:30 के बीच में 7 we say, we assume 7:15, 7:20, but doesn't make a difference because event starts at 8.
True.
Right, so event is at 8, the call time is at 7, so that there's a delay also. Then it's also 15-20 minutes is fine.
Buffer time.
Now, in terms of time management, for example, we are doing a destination wedding and the client Sangeet was supposed to start at 8 but starts at some 10. And we are expected to shoot the after party till late. And they have a haldi which starts early morning.
Correct.
Right.
Such a relatable question.
Now it's very relatable. So what we do, Sangeet performance, we need all cameras. We shoot Sangeet by 12 or 1 say Sangeet goes on till 12 also now. We shoot Sangeet pura ka pura. Okay. By 1 we shoot a bit of after party full team. After party when the after party artists speak. After say 1 or 2 o'clock, 80% people leave. Okay. So for example, team of 8 shooting. Then 6 to 7 people leave, or 5 to 6 people leave. We leave 2 people because now we need a few cameras only to shoot till from 3 to 5 a.m. or maybe 2 to 4 a.m. whatever the time.
And they'll be reaching late the next day.
So मैं कहता हूँ कि हल्दी में इतने लोग चाहिए नहीं मुझे. Don't come. You shoot till the end. You shoot till the end, but don't come in the morning. Or come at 12, 1, 2, whatever we see.
Correct.
We ensure, what my goal is to ensure everyone gets a 6 hours sleep.
हाँ.
तो ऐसा ना हो कि पूरी टीम को हमने रखा 4 बजे तक और फिर पूरी टीम को 9 बजे बुला लिया.
Correct.
So rather, if I want to call someone early, then क्या होगा कि what I'll do, I'll immediately after Sangeet is over, I'll tell 2 people to leave. That guys, you guys come super early. In case that 1% possibility of because always we expect कि यार ये late चला तो late ही सुबह होगा. So just to beat that, I tell 2 people कि Sangeet gets over at 12, the performance get over at 12. 2 of you leave. You don't need 8-member team for
such an event.
Such an event. So 2 people leave, and in the morning tell them to come bang on time. Before time, अपना पहुंच जाओ. So that now the team thing is that we have, and those guys give a real update. That
correct.
So our basic thing is ki you call the planner says where is the team, everything is ready, then the whole team comes and like abhi to decor hi ho raha hai. Correct. So 2 people reach on time early and they give updates to the rest of the team, guys, 2 hours to go for decor, come easily. Sleep more. So we take that thing, we start working towards. So usme kya hota hai, everybody is well rested, and that becomes very important for us to shoot the wedding. Very comfortably well rested, and especially when peak season chal raha ho, when we have back-to-back shoots, when you have back-to-back weddings, sab thake hoye hain. So it's like, that's what, like, you help each other out, so that's very important.
Has it ever happened with you that when you're traveling for a destination wedding and by chance one of your flight gets delayed and the team is less there, like reaching?
Oh yeah, so it happens, definitely. It's weddings, man. Like a lot of time it has happened ki flight has gotten delayed, but we always create backups. If we feel something is cut to cut and if flight gets delayed, we always keep backups of in case we are not able to reach, someone is able to cover up. Yeah.
Okay. How important are interviews in the wedding films? Like I've seen, there are 2 kind of wedding films that I've seen. That one is completely on the wedding based, whatever the events are happening on one track, and the wedding film is done. But I've realized in your weddings, you take a lot of interviews, a lot of BTS scenes.
Yes.
So what is an idea behind that?
Okay. So firstly, again, everything boils down to what the couple likes. Okay. So if they like these interviews, if they, first of all, you tell them. So first, my thing is not to just ask them, but also educate them. Some people say, no, we don't want to interviews. Then you educate them. Why we want interviews, right? We want to, but someone does not want something like that. Someone does not want something emotional. Some people want something more fun, more real.
Correct.
Then we do interviews differently. But we tell them the sound content is very important. Whether it's interviews, whether it's toasts, or whether it's just BTS sound. So because I feel, if you just take footage, put it on a song, it'll just look very monotonous and a montage of things. You get real things only when you have some sound, some, real things, some BTS sound, something, or some interviews, or something that merges the story together or merges the film together.
Correct.
Otherwise, see, the thing is, what are interviews? What is sound? Sound is like a cement. Okay, when we make a wall, a film is like a wall. आप बिना साउंड के फिल्म को बस मोंटाज में होगा तो वो ईंटें रख रहे हो आप. How do you bind it together? Binding factor is sound.
Correct. बिल्कुल सही बात है. And also I've realized that sound designing that is why sound design is a different profession altogether, because in movies when you see the movie of 2 hour or 1 hour, there is so many soundtrack laying below it.
Absolutely. When do you want to use a lyrics wala gana? When do you want to use only soundtrack?
Correct.
What is the vibe of the soundtrack? Because I come from music back, I also see what chords are being used as a negative chord or a positive, like a minor chord or major chord. So you add emotions only in negative chords and on a minor chord, and you had happiness in major chords. So to that level of detailing also.
Okay, so now you have traveled to many places abroad and nationally in India as well. Which is a favorite destination? One favorite destination in India and one favorite destination abroad.
I live a life of a true wedding photographer who goes to fancy places.
But only
my friends, people who follow me feel that I have the best fucking job in my life. Where I go to Bali, I go to Maldives, I go to XYZ places. I stay in the fancy rooms and I explore each and every country, and I come back. I basically land. I take a red-eye flight which starts at 3 a.m. You have to reach in the morning. I check in. I quickly take a shower, start shooting, and then after 3 days, I pack my bags and go back. So literally, I have been to Thailand at least 25 times in my life, but I have never explored Thailand. 25 बार गया हूँगा मैं Thailand. Okay, 25 times, not kidding. 1 year itself, I remember 2009, just pre-COVID, I went to Thailand 9 times in 1 year. Okay.
Wow.
My US visa interview guy asked me, why did you go to Thailand for 9 times in 1 year? So
it's such a nice experience.
so the thing is, because you've traveled to these places so many times, you've hardly explored them. So I can't say which is my favorite place. My favorite places are where I've gone to travel and enjoy. But at weddings, you literally go there, you shoot, and you come back. What, if you ask me other way down, like what weddings have you enjoyed the most?
Yes.
Then I would actually not take names of weddings which have happened in fancy places and all, but I might just say a small cute wedding that happened at a home, because it was so amazing to shoot that.
Intimate weddings.
Yeah, intimate. Even big weddings can be intimate, but it's about people, Sometimes a grand wedding has a great set of people, great set of family, great set of couple. Then you really enjoy the wedding. And if you're, what you're shooting and what the client was is synchronized properly, if you're in sync, then it becomes even more fun to shoot. So I think how I would answer this is, I don't have a favorite location, but I have favorite weddings which are based purely around people and not location.
Who shot your wedding?
Shutterdown. Shutterdown shot my wedding because I was a groomzilla and I have a lot of photographer friends and I didn't want to piss them off. So I can still piss off my team because they know me.
Correct. Now, I wanted to know that I saw so many awards here in front of me.
Yes.
Wow awards. And I think there are 4 or 5, more than that, I suppose. Yeah. So what is the process? Because I really wanted to know that what is the process of, registering and the awards, and what is the criteria of the selection?
There's one criteria, majorly. Very simple. Take good photos and make good films. As simple as that. You take good photos, make good films, you'll win awards. But now, on the hindsight, there are different awards. Selection makes a huge difference in awards. And that selection needs to be on point. You need to spend time. Of late, we've not been sending our entries in awards because workload is so much that we're not able to spend time on this. And even in off season, we are constantly, even in off season, constantly we are working towards new things. And and also I felt that what happens with awards, you start shooting for awards. I want to shoot for my client. I don't want to shoot for awards because, I remember I told you we shared a questionnaire with them. And we also, in the part of the question is choosing the shots that you're liking in this.
Correct.
All the shots that have won the award, clients never like those shots. It's too far.
Correct.
So it's not necessary that if it's a beautifully aesthetic and artsy shot, the client might not like it. A client might like a simple family shot also that might mean much more to them than any of the award-winning shots that you've taken.
True.
So I realized about 2-3 years back that I've started shooting for awards. And that's not the right way of shooting a wedding. A right way of shooting the wedding is for the client.
For the
For the wedding, for the wedding, for the couple that has hired you. They're paying you money for that. It's a job that you need to do for them. Obviously you shoot. So our ideology is we shoot 85-90% for them and 10% for ourselves. So obviously just to keep our creative juices flowing. And but last 2-3 years we stopped participating in awards because I feel it starts impacting the way you shoot also.
Okay, so now if I am a couple who's getting married in November, what is the process of approaching you? Like,
we are very approachable. We are probably the most approachable and flexible companies right now. So it's as simple as even writing to us on the gram. We reply back, we revert back, or we tell them the right way, and on the gram we tell them how to approach us. On the mail also, on phones also. So we tell everyone whenever we get an inquiry, we always tell them the right way to approach that, and then they approach us through that means.
Second question is that in spite of everything, the big fame of Netflix, the big fame of Vikrant Masi's wedding, how is your personal life? Because wedding takes a toll on your personal life and you don't get to be with family more often because out of 365 days, 100 days you are shooting somewhere.
Absolutely. 100 days, 100 to 100. Last year, I shot about 100 days. This year, I'm shooting 115 days.
See.
So every year, it's 100 minimum out of 365. You're shooting for sure. Obviously, it is very tough. You do miss your family. You do miss your... end up missing a lot of things in life because, for example, all your friends are getting married on the peak dates. It's very tough, right, to attend those weddings. सारी दोस्तियाँ टूट जाती हैं आपकी लाइफ में.
बिल्कुल सही.
और सारी रिश्तेदारियाँ टूट जाती हैं आपकी लाइफ में. Obviously, when it's very close family, then you have to take the tough call of telling the client that, boss, I have that one sister, I want to attend her marriage. So this.
Understood.
But we also, if it has happened only once or twice in my life where we had to inform for something very, 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 very important. But we informed 2 to 3 months in advance.
Before,
Yeah, so that it looks professional. But it does affect your personal life. It is very tough. To manage both the things. Then at the same time you have off season where you end up spending time with your family. So your family also starts getting adjusted to your routine.
True.
When I was getting married to my wife, I told her that this is a problem that you will face, and since she had been dating me, she had already accustomed to this fact that I will not be available between November till April now, even May for that matter.
True.
So, but after that, so you give 7 months to the work and give 5 months to yourself, and so that's how it is.
How different are different religions' weddings? For example, you're shooting a Punjabi wedding, you're shooting a Marwadi wedding, you're shooting a Jain person wedding. How is the environment different?
I'm telling you, religion has nothing to do with this. It's just the people. Sometimes we always feel that this religion wedding will be more fun than that religion wedding. I feel all weddings are similar. It's just that if you get a fun couple, no matter what religion or what culture, it'll be fun wedding. Obviously, some weddings are tough to shoot because they have a lot of ceremonies. So ceremonial weddings are genuinely कि टीके लगते जा रहे हैं, 100 टीके
मिलनी होती जा रही है.
So obviously that part for a young team is like a bit, it's not as exciting. But eventually if you see, we are, so I have another line that I love. Is that we are leeches. Wedding photographer are leeches. We get our energies from the couple or from the family. So we have a high energy or something. People who look forward to wedding, we will play on their energies. We are vibing their energies back to them.
So true.
So we're little leeches. हम उनकी ही energy उनको वापस multiply करके दे रहे हैं. So irrespective of what culture or everything, if the families are fun, if the families are into photography, then definitely, the most gorgeous looking weddings who don't care about photography, there also that's a tougher wedding than a very traditional wedding, right?
True.
So if someone is not,
A fan of photography or being in front of the camera.
Yeah, being in front of camera, or has hired us because, we shot a friend's wedding and we had just a checklist on their list. But if someone really loves photography, then irrespective of what community, what culture, what wedding is it,
They'll give you time.
They will give us time. They will love to get shot. They will care for the deliverables.
Correct. Now I wanted to ask that what is the ideal team size to cover a wedding for example, if it's a 300 to 400 people gathering, what is the ideal team size according to you?
Okay, so you need first of all one person who's like taking care of the whole thing, like a shoot director or a team, whatever you want to call it. All right, who's also shooting. Ideally, you should not waste the talent, right? So ideally, that person should be shooting. Then you should ideally have total team of 4 photographers and 4 cinematographers. You can make it 3 cinematographers also, but ideally 4 plus 3, or shoot director who is also either cinematographer, photographer. That's our ideal way of shooting. We don't like to go with massive teams of 5 log, unless it's like a 5,000 people wedding. What crazy number hai. But a 300, 400, 500 people wedding, a team of 4 plus 3, 4 plus 4 is a good team size.
So I have seen that now recently the market is become a niche for like people are only focusing on photos. Like there are photographers who are only doing photos and no videos. There are few videographers who are only doing videos and not photos. You're managing both. So has it been very difficult? Like
it's fun.
I
feel it's fun to do both because it's quite challenging, right? And
that is what my question, because it's very difficult to because
it is tough. If it is tough to manage both photos and videos, but then if you have a fantastic team, everything is possible, man. Like if you have great cinematographers, great photographers, it's very smooth to manage both.
Okay. Now, what are the tips and tricks that you would like to give to some wedding photographers who's entering into this field now?
Don't enter this field looking at the gram that it looks glamorous from outside. Lakshya travels to all the fancy places. I'll also go one day. Don't look at all the things that gram gives you, what Instagram gives you, and that wedding photographers have an amazing life. Only if you love weddings, then you become a wedding photographer. You don't do it for money. You don't do it for glamour. You don't do it for let the world see what I'm doing. Don't go for the coolness part of it. Go if you're really enjoying weddings. Go if you're really liking interacting with people. Because your people skills is going to be one major part, not only your photography. If you want to start wedding photography, don't take it as a business. Money will come automatically when you're doing a good job.
It's a people skill business, I feel.
It's a people plus, people plus art plus being patient.
Correct.
It's a lot of things. You have to be hardworking, you have to be patient, you have to be a good communicator, you have to be able to communicate your thoughts very well. You have to be, at the end of the day, a good human being because you're shooting someone else's wedding. You can't be irresponsible. You have to shoot well.
There are no retakes.
No retakes. So a lot of things, it is not very easy as it seems like. It is very tough. You have to also make sure that you're not spoiling the ambience of the wedding. It's not that art photographers ek saath shoot kar rahe hain sare ke sare. You have to also ensure that the guests are also enjoying the wedding.
Correct.
How you're friendly with all the guests. It's a lot of factors come together.
And how important is bonding with the bride? Because I feel once you bond with the bride, your 50% problem is solved.
No, 100% solved. You have to be the bride's best friend, right? You have to be, if you're a female photographer, you have to be her bridesmaid. If you are the guy photographer, be her best friend. Sukh, dukh, sab saath mein. You have to be with her throughout. But again, don't be overwhelming. Maintain that professional line as well. But it's her day. Let her enjoy it. Don't push her to things, but educate her that this will look great if I do this.
Correct.
But again, if she trusts you, if she has the connect with you, she will let you do whatever kind of shots you want. So if it's about what kind of a rapport you have with her. With the bride or with the couple for that matter.
So for that, do you meet them quite often before the wedding? Like, do you meet like maybe 2-3 meetings make you a little more?
At least one. One, if not meeting a Zoom call.
Okay.
One Zoom call is sufficient. At least one Zoom call is highly, highly recommended that you have at least face to face. You talk, you vibe those energies. Very important.
True. Okay. Now, my one more question was that when you were talking about Algomage and the culling software, what is the process? Because not many people know about it. Because I want to know what is the process of culling. What is culling actually?
Culling is as simple as selection. Okay. So culling is basically you shoot about say 1 lakh photos.
Correct.
You want to deliver 5,000 photos. So
Yeah,
how do you get it down from 1 lakh to 5,000? So that is the process of culling. Obviously, everybody has a different process. We personally have 2 rounds of culling. One round is that उस 1 लाख को पहले 10,000 या 20,000 ले आओ.
Okay.
So you take out all the junks and the burst. So and then from 20,000 you say come down to 5,000, 6,000, 3,000, whatever the number is. So we have 2 rounds of culling, and that first round of cull down image also go as a raw image to the client because you don't want to send 1 lakh raw images of the
Correct, because that's the problem I face because of the selection. It is when I give them like 8,000 pictures for a 2-day wedding for a two photographers team.
Yeah.
So now they say, how do I select like 120 pictures, 250 pictures from this?
So when you give them, first thing is like you don't start by giving them raw images. Ideally, when you edit like 4,000-5,000 images, that's good enough for them, or 3,000-4,000, whatever the number is. Say 3,000 is your number. Then ideally, the selection should be such that they don't ask for raw images.
Correct.
You only give raw images when when they ask. You see, we are in a society where we're in India, where people, if you say, like internationally, you can always say no to the client that we don't share photos.
You cannot say no.
जो भी कहता है वो नहीं हो सकता.
हाँ.
I've learned it. You have to give raw images. Yeah, you maybe cull it properly before giving it to them. ऐसा नहीं कि 4 photographers की photos आपने 4 दिनों में आपने 1 लाख photos दे दी उनको. Then they'll go mad. You first of all don't give them raw. Even if they insist, you know what they... Yeah, always give them edited shots. Rather give them announcement photos, 30-40 photos for within a week. Then give to your rest 3,000 photos after whatever time you want. And then if they ask, then only give raw shots. So first you give as many edited shots as possible. And only if they ask, then you give raw shots. But honestly, very few clients now ask us for raw shots. About 10% only.
And so when you deliver, like when you deliver the albums and everything, how different is it from other people? I want to know that.
So, sorry, I'm just adjusting it.
No.
So when we deliver albums, so first of all, our basic ideology is that, say if you're going to a 5-star, you get great services. That's the same philosophy that you go to Shutterdown, you get great services. So everything should be well laid. All the pictures should be bridged properly, numbered properly, sequenced properly in a proper software, like you give it in an app or something.
Correct.
All the videos are properly delivered in proper folders in Vimeo or whatever software you want to use. Then in terms of physical deliveries, we give them, first of all, we call them over here. That's our studio. That's our projection room.
Beautiful studio.
That's a projection room. And over here, we call them over, call some beers, call for some popcorn. We make them see their films, their photos and everything. It's a great experience for them to, sit with us. We call the editors also who've edited their films. So they don't see only the shooters who shot them, but also the editing team who've edited.
So they also get to know it.
They get to see the editor कि किसने काम कर रहा है मेरा, किसने इतनी सुंदर फिल्म बनाई है मेरी. So
actually बहुत लोग ना अपने टीम खोलते नहीं है. मतलब I touch wood, this is not with you.
Yeah.
Because you give credit to people who have done it.
Yeah.
In wedding industry, this is a very big ड्रॉबैक ऑल्सो दैट मैं क्यों बताऊँ मेरा एडिटर कौन है, मतलब एक होता है ना कि मेंटालिटी वो बनी होती है.
हाँ, so we are very simple and clear with that, and we call them over in case they're not coming over. We give them deliver a nice box with proper things. Correct. And everything properly packed and all. So it's all about presentation, how beautifully we are giving it to them. That matters a lot. So it's just not about taking photos. It's a whole process. From when they get onboarded, what kind of a vibe you're giving to them, from the point of getting onboarded to the point of the team shooting, how the team is dressed, how they're interacting with the friends and families, how you're delivering. Even if things get late, it's normal to get late. We try our best not to. Last year there were only 2 delays, but we inform the clients beforehand कि boss there'll be a delay. It's okay to inform rather than tell them, हाँ कल मिल जाएगा, and then tomorrow you don't pick up the call. So don't do that. Another advice for upcoming photographers: be very clear in case there's a delay. Tell your friends and friends, your clients, your friends only. Tell your clients there's a delay. I'm sorry, this happened, but please give us 2 more weeks. Straight away ask for 2. Don't say 2 दिन में हो जाएगा.
Buffer time लेके
चलो. Take 1 week, 2 weeks extra. उस टाइम पे लगेगा, but professional sound करेगा. All of us make mistakes. It's better to lay it down properly rather than running away from it. Worst thing is not taking your clients' calls.
Which is your best wedding till now that you've shot? I'm sure you'll not answer it directly.
I will not answer it. Every wedding is the best wedding I've shot. I don't have one favorite client. All my clients are like favorite. whether it's a celebrity, whether it's a non-celebrity, whether it's an influencer or non-influencer. Every client is shot like
100% efficiency.
Every client, we don't differentiate any client, whether it's a 10 CR wedding, a 20 CR wedding, or a 1 CR wedding, or a 50 lakh wedding. We don't see the budget. We don't see कि इस client की 2 दिन की शादी है, छोटी शादी हम इसमें कुछ करेंगे, या किसी की 8 दिन की शादी है, grand wedding. There is no.
8 days की शादी आपने की हुई है cover?
हमने 8 days की करी है.
Wow.
And all the HNIs, like ultra HNIs, which we don't reveal, their weddings go on for years.
Wow.
Yeah, ultra and HNIs, like we can't reveal, but their weddings.
Some events.
Basically, they'll have one event every year or 2 events every year.
Wow.
For 3 years.
Wonderful.
So, yeah.
This is something which I've learned from you.
Yeah, I'm talking about really ultra HNIs.
Understood.
Yeah.
Now I wanted to ask one more question. Which person are you? Are you more of a natural color editing person, or you are a different color tone person?
Okay, no, I love natural colors. I love real colors. Again, the idea of our work is very real. We keep all the colors very real, very true to life. It should not look edited. That's the idea. Even the films, even the pictures.
It should not look edited.
No, it should not look edited. It should look very real.
Real. हाँ.
When I say it should not look edited, that doesn't mean कि आपने गंदी light में.
हाँ, नहीं समझ गया मैं.
So when we shoot, also we try our light to be perfect. Obviously, we correct the highlights, we correct the shadows, we do all that, but we don't change the colors too much.
Understood.
We don't change the
face texture, skin color.
Skin color, improve the skin tone. So the difference between skin tone and skin color. We don't change the skin color, we improve the skin tones. So the tonality we improve in terms of shadows and everything, and shadows and highlights and whites and blacks. But we never change, because you change something, outfit color changes, it's a big problem. If a bride has bought red, then it changes to orange. You don't want that to happen.
Oh, that is also a problem.
So we don't touch colors that much. We like to try to maximize the color. That doesn't mean we increase the saturation and vibrance.
Understood.
We try to optimize the colors. We try to get the best skin tone. The idea is to get the best skin tone.
Example
possible.
is if the bride is having a Sabyasachi lehenga, red lehenga, red should look red, right? That's the point.
Same color, and also skin tone. Like your skin tone should be real, what it is, and it should look as best as possible and look not edited.
Also, now the major competitor of photographers is a makeup artist, because they consume most of our time.
You make friends with them. You make friends with them. You make friends with every makeup artist you work with. Your life will change.
That is good.
So we are very good friends with a lot of makeup artists, and they know our style of shooting, and they give us space accordingly. And we also give them space. So it's like, it's weddings always collaborative effort.
100%.
So you give space to makeup artist, she'll give space to you. It's a win-win situation. Same with the planner. Same with the decorator, same with the choreographer, same with everybody. You work more collaboratively with your egos down, you'll thrive.
How important is the photographers community for you?
Very important. 100%. I think it's the best community ever. Especially, I think the Delhi photography community. I'm not very well versed with Bombay community, but Delhi community is very, very strong and very helpful. Like if you need someone to shoot for you on a certain date, or if आप फंस गए हो कभी भी, कितनी बार हुआ है in the community we see that, my camera stopped working, can someone help us out? And quickly someone replies, I'm nearby, I'm sending you a camera.
Wow.
So it's a very good community. It's very helpful. And, this is the reason why I think Delhi photographers have grown together a lot. So
I see a lot of bonding in Delhi photographers. It's not the same in other cities as well.
That's why I can't comment on Bombay.
Correct. I've seen in Delhi that they are very close to
very close knit and very healthy competition. So if someone says that I'm considering this photographer also, I will never say no, get me on board, I'm better. I will always say, he's a fantastic photographer, she's a fantastic photographer. We are friends, you can choose either of us. Wow. Yeah, see, the thing is, you can do only 1 wedding a day. If you can do 2 weddings a day, maybe chal 3 kar le. Okay? The pie will always keep growing. More people will keep getting married.
True.
What will happen if you undercut someone's wedding and take more? 1, 2, 3 weddings extra mil jayenge saal. Why do you want to do that? So we have ethics wise, I think the whole community is very ethical, very, very ethical.
In that way.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is the maximum number of weddings that you've done on a single day?
We take 2 maximum.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's the rule.
Yeah, that's the norm. Third only happens if it's an overflow of an event. For example, किसी का एक दिन ऐड हो गया उस दिन पे हो रहा है. So we keep a buffer for that. So that becomes a third. But usually our idea is just to have 2. weddings, and also one is with me and one is with my shoot director, and that shoot director also gets a wedding because someone has already worked with my shoot director. They're like, Lakshya, I don't want you. I want your shoot director. They're good, so let them only shoot. So
that is a real success actually.
Yeah, so we take one with me, or sometimes a lot of times. Achha, last February, I hardly had shoots and my team was just shooting. Wow. Yeah. I'm not kidding. Last February, I was shooting only 3 weddings in last February, or 2 weddings. That's it. Whole February. And jabki February, full team was shooting everything.
Yeah, February is the peakest time.
Yeah, February was the peak time. And I remember last season, I was very happy. That and when we asked that, okay, Lakshya is available, but shoot directors, they're like, no, this guy shot my wedding, my sister's wedding last year. I want them only. It's okay,
wow.
Lakshya.
This is an achievement.
Yeah, I would.
Success.
Yeah, so it was very good to hear that people are actually liking the team's work at par with your work, and this is not something that happens overnight. It's a long process and it takes time for it to happen.
All kudos to you.
No. All kudos to the team. Everyone who's working together with each other. When we hire, for us, the first criteria is that a person is a good human being. It's a very good environment. Touch wood. One thing I'm proud of my team is that it's a very good environment, very good work culture that we maintain. People love working here. There is no politics, no backbiting, nothing of those sorts. And we feel when I hire, first thing I see is that will this person vibe with the team or not? Kaam chodo. Will it be the right fit? Will it be right? Aisa now, like, you don't want your team. It takes a long time and a lot of effort to maintain a good environment,
100%.
A politics-free environment, a non-bitchy environment, especially in India. So you need to have positive energies because you're shooting positive things. Some days we are not good days where clients are not good, or even if the clients are good, you've had a bad day. So you need a team that constantly motivates you. All of us can get irritated of each other in heavy days, but when we're shooting back to back without sleep for 25 days, all of us like baat mat kar mujhse shoot ke chupchap. But overall, the vibe is that we shoot, we enjoy the shoot, and we enjoy the edit part of it.
Oh, that's very nice. And now I would like to just conclude with one thing. Like, why should people choose Shutterdown over other photography firms?
किसी को भी कर लो यार सब अच्छे हैं. It's only thing is what a client usually sees is the vibe of the work. First of all, the work resonates, and then the vibe resonates or not,
Correct.
and the delivery times and the budget is suitable. Or sometimes starts with budget also. ये 4 factors होते हैं. If you win all the 4 factors, you're through. It's as simple as that. So your work, your vibe, your budget, and what are your delivery timelines? Are you a flexible person in general also? Are you approachable also? It's my wedding. I don't want to be stressed. I hope you don't have attitude issues or you don't have ego issues.
That is also a problem. Correct.
So people want to see that if that's what a company is all about. So we've managed ourselves to keep ourselves ego free of all those snobbish attitude. Very real in terms of our work and our personalities. Every single person will be just how they are in front of you and behind you.
Correct.
Right. So that's the whole idea that, very, very realistic things, in the whole organization.
Now I would like to just thank you again because it's been a pleasure talking to you. I've learned so many things from you and hopefully we'll work someday together.
100%.
And thank you again and whenever you're coming to Banaras, please let me host you for a day at least.
For sure.
For a wedding or for travel. I would suggest you come for traveling. Don't come for weddings.
I will come
because wedding again, you will not be able to come out of the hotel.
Yeah.
So I would like to host you someday in Banaras.
Done. For sure, man.
Thank you once again.
You're most welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.